Hello, everyone. My name is Vivian DeSouza. I am the CEO and founder of Virtual Success Now. Happy to be here with you today. Not just today, but this is Small Business Week. So we are celebrating. We are giving shout outs to all those entrepreneurs and business owners who are bossing up and who are doing their things. And I'm super excited to be right here with Mr. Taylor of TaylorMade Solutions, being able to interview him. If you all don't know him, he's doing big things. He's doing interviews. He's recognizing all those who are out there bossing up this week for Small Business Week. So just to be able to take the time to sit back and chop it up and interview with him, I'm just super excited. So Mr. Taylor, if you would tell everyone who you are, what you do, where you're from.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. First, I want to say thank you for flipping the script on me, so to speak. My goal with Small Business Week was to be the one interviewing the small business owners. So I'm super excited that Vivian said, no, let me interview you. Let's get you on camera. So I'm humbled and I'm grateful at the same time. So thank you.
Thank you.
Like you said, my name is Andre C. Taylor Jr., president and founder of TaylorMade Solutions.
All right.
We got it started in 2016 is when I incorporated headquarters out of Freeport, Illinois, about 2 hours west of Chicago. And we originally started doing like web design services, and from there expanded to digital marketing services, to now being a full service agency who provides small business solutions. That's the short version.
That's the short version? Okay. All right. We'll take the short version, but we're going to come back around and circle to that. How's that sound?
Absolutely.
So being an entrepreneur, what motivated you, if you will, to take that leap, to go ahead and say, listen, this is something that I need to do. This is something I dreamed of. Was there something that happened, or it's just something you wanted to do?
Well, a little bit of both, I think. I have always had the entrepreneurial bug or the spirit. And then there's a series of events or things that happen that really confirm the transition for me as well.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's a really good question. I think we could probably talk all day just on that question alone. So I'm going to try to give you like the short version. But, one of the things was like God has really placed like a lot of desires in my heart, I guess you could say, or, I'm like very creative person. So one of the things was to not have I guess a glass ceiling or the limitations being placed on me, to be able to do what God, I feel, has called me to do, and be obedient in that regard, in a space where I'm not like hindered or I guess limited, if that makes sense.
Makes sense. Absolutely. And so by you doing that, what do you think you can give those entrepreneurs who are straddling the fence, who say, well, maybe I can't do it, but I want to do it, who are fearful or who are scared? What can we do?
There's so much to be done. I think you touch on some really good points. And I think a lot of us, we exist in that place of fear, or another way of saying that maybe it's anxiety. And I like to think of anxiety as like this. You're either thinking about the past,
That's
or
right.
you're thinking about the future.
Mm-hmm.
And when you don't exist in the present, that's when anxiety sets into your spirit. You start to overthink, you get caught up into those places. So my solution for anxiety is to simply live in the present moment. So that's how I cope and deal with anxiety, because I found that attack on my life, or mentally anyway, when I suffered like severe anxiety, I would get into that place where I always kind of start to worry or be anxious. What if something doesn't happen right, or what if something goes wrong? So that's one key. The other key when it comes to fear, and us being afraid, I think, is because we're thinking about ourselves. I think we're being selfish. That's what fear is. I think fear is synonymous with being self-centered or selfish, because I think when you think about other people and you operate out of a place of love, like true, genuine love, then I think fear is eradicated, or fear vanishes. And so a lot of times we get caught up because we're thinking about us. And I always tell the story, if you know me, that between a mother and a child or her children. And, if they're ever in harm's way or a potential disaster is going to come across them, that mother will stop at nothing to make sure that her child is not hurt or, danger is upon them. I think that's a excellent example of love. There's no fear in that moment. Mama's saying, you know what, you better get your hands off my baby. If a car coming down the road, I'm about to go snatch my baby out the road, make sure you don't get hit by a car. So that's a place I think we need to operate in general as people, but especially as small business owners and entrepreneurs.
I agree. I agree. You said some good pointers there. And being on this entrepreneur journey, it I'm just gonna be real. There's been some challenging moments for me. And so there's been some great moments, and there are great moments. The joys of being an entrepreneur are I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. What are the joys of being an entrepreneur, if you will?
Absolutely. The joys to me are you get to choose your clients. It's one of the joys. And so, when you're under the employee of a company or corporation, that's not a choice that you're afforded. So one of the things about being an entrepreneur, you really can choose who you decide to work with. So to me, that's a really big point. Another joy is being able to kind of set your own schedule. Like, does that mean you're not going to have to work, or grind or put in long hours and that? Absolutely not. But it does mean that you can choose kind of your own schedule, how you work, instead of that being kind of dictated for you from an employer or your boss. And so those are just a couple of things. You want me to keep going or it's too good?
Listen, these are all good nuggets and tips that we all can receive and take them and apply them to our own businesses and what we do. So yes, please keep going.
Well, another thing I think is to be able to do something unencumbered or basically without limitation. So if you have a creative idea or something that you want to do and express, then you don't necessarily have to kind of seek approval, I guess. You don't have to go to somebody and say, well, is it okay that I go be great or I go be awesome? You just have the opportunity to be able to do that. Now, if it fails, it fails, right? You learn from falling down or making mistakes or errors along the way, you pick yourself back up and you go at it even stronger. And so that's another area I think that's really powerful. And I think, you would agree, like, there's something unique about Vivian that in a way that you can express yourself in a company setting. They might say, hey, Vivian, I don't care about your way, right? I need you to do it our way. I want you to do it according to our policy. But you're saying, hey, you know what? There's more in me. There's a way I want to express myself even greater. And as a business owner, you have the ability to be able to do that. So I think that's powerful.
Love that. Love that. When you talk about those things, one of the things that came into mind when you were mentioning your great tips and techniques, so thank you for that. The power of networking is just so crucial when you are an entrepreneur. And when I say networking, not just on social media platforms, which we know is extremely important, but networking and getting involved in the community and doing other things. What would you say maybe some of the things we can do as far as networking that would be an asset for entrepreneurs to do?
That is also a really great question. So, as far as network, I think there's so many different avenues or routes that you can take. I think, of course, it's important to take one that you feel uh, vibes on your frequency, if you will.
Okay.
That can be getting involved in with nonprofits, which actually made me think of there's a really awesome platform that just launched, which is called Let's Thrive 360.
Okay.
Find letsthrive360.com, and that's a platform that connects volunteers, companies, and employees and volunteers together. So that's a great way to network or to get involved is to volunteer, give up your time, free of charge, and to make a contribution back to society. So I think that's extremely important, and that's something that's going to continue to be even more important as we go forward in the weeks and the years to come.
I love.
Another way is groups, which there's so many different groups, right? Especially on social media. You can get on your Facebook groups. You got LinkedIn groups. I
Yes.
mean, there's groups for days, Slack, there's all these different mediums. And those are also great ways to find like-minded individuals that do what you do, or maybe what you want to do or desire to do, or people that you want to connect with or collaborate with or work with. So those are also great spaces for networking opportunities and to find some really skilled, talented, and just amazing people overall.
I love that.
That, if you want me to keep going, events, right?
Yeah.
Events, corporate events, planned events, or maybe even hosting your own events, seminars, webinars, and things like that are also great opportunities to network and to connect with like-minded individuals as well. So,
So basically, oh, I'm sorry.
no, that was it. Go ahead.
So basically what you're saying, Mr. Taylor, there's no reason, no excuse why you can't level up, why you can't be success, why you can't be a success, why you cannot be a success, because there's so many people out there who are doing the same thing that we're doing. There's so much support. There's so many groups and networking opportunities to help push you, to help excel you and grow. So hey, all those who are out there who are straddling the fence, right, Mr. Taylor, come on. Come on, let's level up, strap up, and do it, right?
You hit on a really good point that I want to kind of ad-lib behind you, which is a lot of times as an entrepreneur or a small business owner, you feel or you think you're alone in this fight, if you will, or a better way to say it, in this marathon. You
Yeah,
think you're just out here and like nobody understands me, they don't know what I'm going through. And
right.
you're so right. There are so many different opportunities to connect with people who are in the marathon right alongside you. And they're pushing and they're fighting and they're running, and so I totally agree with you. Thanks for highlighting that and bringing that out.
You're welcome. Thank you. This is so encouraging. Listen, I'm so excited. Small Business Week. Mr. Taylor is here in the building representing TaylorMade Solutions. If you have not checked him out, everyone, please check him out. He's going to give us some tips on how to find him, where to find him, to continue to follow him. And listen, before he does that, I just want everybody to know, look, I have on my TaylorMade Solutions jacket representing, supporting small businesses. So let's check him out. Check his website out. He's going to give us some information. I don't want to take all that from him, but Mr. Taylor, how can we find you out here?
Absolutely. We're everywhere, okay? And we're always on. So I just need to start with that. So our website, if you don't know, is taylormade.solutions, TaylorMade.solutions. There is no .com. That is not a mistake. So
Okay. Okay.
you can find us on all social media: LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Alignable,
Everywhere.
Snapchat. Yeah, just search TaylorMade Solutions. You will find the brand. And you can always call or email as well, info@taylormade.solutions,
Okay.
or call 815-408-0375.
Awesome. Awesome. Listen, Mr. Taylor, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for coming in and just let me interview you. Let's chopping it up and giving some tips and tools and keys for continued success for all the entrepreneurs out there who are bossing it up and making it happen. Listen, no reason for you to straddle a fence anymore. Just go ahead and take that leap of faith. Do what you were destined to do. Go get what's already yours. And thank you once again, Mr. Taylor, TaylorMade Solutions.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.